Hey, good morning, everyone. Wake meteorologist Brian Good. It is finally Friday. Hope you guys are doing well. It's 52 minutes after the hour here on this Friday. Welcome to Storm Talk here on the Weather Blog on Wave Weather Now, which, of course, is streaming live on the Wave Weather app, Roku, Fire Stick, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and even on Twitch. So good to talk to you guys as always. Again, your comments are only on the social media parts of Facebook and Twitter. X, whatever it's called. So I can see your comments. In fact, I see Brandon. Hey, Brandon, good morning to you. Brandon's ready for some storms. Some may agree with that. Hello, Judy. Good morning to you. Marianne, always nice to hear from Marianne. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the emails you always send me for the photo of the day. It's always nice. All right. So again, your comments will be there. I know you're going to have some questions. In fact, you will have questions on how this is going to play out. So I'm going to go through it as always, as thorough as I can, to get you through the setup all the way into the weekend here, especially into Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. It's the time period we're watching, and then I'll do a quick update here for next week as well. Okay, so let's start with the outlook. Let's see. Actually, let me show you the visibility, then we'll show you a camera. This is the fog that's been the big story this morning. The ground that has been, of course, waterlogged with the rain we had yesterday. Skies cleared out. Good recipe there for fog to develop, and boy, we have visibility. It's dropped. Opened up my door this morning, and it's like, ooh, okay, where's the car? So it was pretty rough in spots. I wouldn't say it was zero, but it was noticeable. Noticeable as we headed into portions there of, say, southern Jarvis County, especially all the way. It did clear up a little bit toward the airport. In fact, let me show you a look at the airport at the moment. This is a live look where, when I got to the station, couldn't even see the airplanes. At least I got to see them. So it is improving. And that's good. And eventually you're going to see hazy skies, and then you're going to see sunshine that will take over as the fog disperses. So some of you already have that sun, but again, areas in the fog zone still will have some that will be done with some of that foggy conditions out there for this morning. So just use some caution as you head out. Here's a look from space, and you can't really see the fog because we have clouds that are moving in from thunderstorms in West Kentucky. So because of that, it's blowing in clouds on top of the fog bank. So it's kind of a little iffy right through here to see it. Certainly that's fog there. You can see that develop as the sun comes up. Pretty cool shot. But again, once we get into a higher sun angle, then that will disperse. Now, these clouds from the rain to the west may kind of damper your sun chances in central Kentucky for a few hours into the afternoon. But once that fades away, we will see some improvement, as once again, the same spots getting hit with heavy rain. I mean, this is like deja vu, right? Of the second round there of thunderstorms from this particular event moving across Paducah. Heavy rainfall. I mean, these areas have already had more than 8 to 10 inches of rain. And here you go. You're adding on at least another 1 to 3 in this as this moves all the way down toward Alabama and Georgia. Very, very messy for sure. The land between the lakes area has been hit hard too with a lot of heavy rain. But that is not heading toward us. But because the wind flow, we are getting some clouds off of that being blown over us. But as that fades out, and it will fade out soon, the clouds that were associated with it will also begin to fade out, leading to a partly sunny, humid, and I would say a hot day coming our way. Your severe risk today is going to be roughly along that zone to our west. Not worried about that. Tomorrow, we get ready for what will be the system for Sunday. So as we head into your Sunday, you'll begin to see the new severe risk kick in across the plains into Iowa, Nebraska, and Kansas, where severe weather will be breaking out there as a warm front and cold front. You can already see the triangle shape, warm front, and here's your cold front right through there. This is the warm sector. As always, you guys, when we draw this, do you remember the American flag? I used to draw the box. So here's your cold front. Here's the warm front. Your American flag portion will be right into here. So that means that's where your main tornado threat will be to the north, around Chicago, Fort Wayne, Indiana, maybe Indianapolis, maybe. But more likely near the Great Lakes. That's where your highest tornado potential will be if the thing can form. For the rest of the slight risk zone, which is everybody watching right now for Sunday, it's generally a chance to get some damaging winds and pockets. If there's a line, you could get a little more organized straight line wind event. You can get some hail, but overall, it is going to be just a quick moving lines of storms, and there will be multiple the way it's looking now. And that leads to questions on, will we see a setup where we have too many bands of storms during the day on Sunday to where that tapers down the severe threat for Sunday night? That would be great, right? That can happen. We've seen it happen many times where you get too much going on in advance of the main push of storms, and then it messes up the energy for the rest of them, and then things fall apart, and then you're in good shape. That's possible. Now, if we don't see the they're going to go get some chicken, I think. No one's offering me any chicken. They're going to get some chicken. But anyway, if the first two little waves of thunderstorms do not materialize, or they fall apart, or they just dissipate fast enough to where the sun can come out rapidly, then that last line will be much more powerful, and it would be a nighttime event for that last line. So we got questions still on this. The confidence level is not very high because we don't know yet. We don't know what will happen with the first two little mini rounds because of the warm front on Sunday. So this is one of those down to the wire scenarios again. So just one of those things that we wanted to give you a heads up. That's why we got the alert day out. We want you to be aware of. Marianne, we'll get some chicken. All right, I'll go get some chicken. But you guys, I got to take care of you all first. And then I'll get some chicken, I promise. I can't turn down some chicken. Anyway, you're going to face a scenario, though, where you need to be weather aware this weekend. Have a way to get notified alerts, and just keep in mind the forecast is going to keep changing. It will keep changing. So we're going to be adjusting it today, and then over the weekend, Jessica's going to be adjusting it and fine-tuning it. She'll be live here on the blog as well, so make sure to just be aware of those changes. Why are we talking about it? Well, first off, the wind energy with this system rolling in as we head into this weekend is pretty potent. I mean, it's a nice little kick moving through the atmosphere as we head into this weekend. It's not anything record-breaking or off the charts, as we usually say. But for August standards, this stands out. You don't normally get this much wind energy this far south. So that's the reason why we can get some damage of winds. And it's also the reason why the storms will move fast. So the flash flooding threat is not overly high. I mean, yeah, there's going to be a lot of humidity. You're going to be sweating like crazy on Sunday. Humidity levels will be very high. I mean, I'm talking about dew points well into the 70s. But storms will not be training or be sluggish and slow, and therefore you end up with very, very heavy rainfall and flash flooding. They'll be moving in and moving out. So that cuts down. I mean, it's going to be very heavy rain when they move through, but they're not going to get stuck. But the bad news on that is when you have storms move that fast, then you lead to damaging wind. The wind part goes up. And so that's what we're mainly concerned about moving through. Plenty of fuel. You can see the amount of fuel is certainly in place as we head into Sunday. I know the time isn't on, or the day isn't on there, but that's the time. But that's generally Sunday afternoon, evening. And you see we build the fuel up, and it's kind of iffy in Kentucky, right? You see some disruptions at times, and it's mainly because we just don't know if the morning round of storms, and I'll show you all this in a second, will have a factor in this or not. So let me get right to it. Here's Futurecast. Again, that current round of rain that's in West Kentucky and Tennessee begins to fade out and says adios. We get into tomorrow. We will end up with a couple more rounds to the west. I mean, still pretty active west of us, but not much happening here. We get into Saturday. There are a couple little waves that are going to be passing by on Saturday, little ripples that will be moving through. The flow so far is this way, heading southeast, right? That's going to change. Once we get into Saturday, we're going to have a couple little small MCSs, if you will, little mini low pressures, will be tracking more this way. And you'll see a few of those kind of fly by that could give us some showers at times if they graze us. But most of the action with those will be staying to the north as we head into your Saturday night into Sunday morning. Now, here's the first, the first little wave when the warm front moves in of scattered showers at sunrise on Sunday. Okay, that's not too bad. I mean, scattered showers on a Sunday morning at sunrise is still not enough to disrupt an afternoon severe event because we still have a lot of daylight to get through. So there is still some room to work with. So this doesn't concern me as much as the midday time period. And it may not seem like much here. This model, again, is a little different than some of the others I've looked at. But there is another chance for a round that may try to form like at 2, 3 o'clock, very close to I-65. It's iffy because it's not on all the models. If that one forms, yeah, that one could be strong, no doubt. It will not have everything it needs to be a full-on severe setup, but it could still produce some gusty winds, a lot of heavy rain, lightning. But more importantly, that time of day would be a problem because it would disrupt the potential for any severe weather after that. So that's still the catalyst because you get into midnight. Here's the main line right there, moving in. And you can see as we get into midnight, I mean, it's a potent line. There are some cells. It's not fully connected. So this is going to be a broken line of thunderstorms. But if they certainly have the wind energy. So if we do not have that mid-Sunday afternoon, midday-ish interruption, then this wave Sunday night is the one to watch. And again, that would be after sunset through midnight. That's the time frame we're looking at for the best ingredients to really line up. Although once you get past 10 or 11 p.m., one of the main ingredients, the fuel part, does start to drop because it's after sunset. So there's just a brief overlapping there right at sunset where they can be strong to severe. This is not a big outbreak or anything like that, guys. But this has got a kick to it that I think we need to watch, certainly before you go to bed Sunday night. And it could be active at times during the day. So the hope here is we get some showers that pop up during the day on Sunday and keeps everything tame later on. And we're just going to have to watch that and let us do that worrying for you all. All right. Here's the outlook from CSU and from the SBC comparison. The CSU, Colorado State, again, I've always liked this. They've kind of adjusted much more compared to yesterday. They do have what would be a slight risk overall the area that lines up fairly well with the Ohio Valley being pinpointed there. Next week is showing up as a low and severe risk for now. I'll have more on that in just a second, as I do think that could have some severe risk as well. Here's one of the soundings for Sunday afternoon. I know this is so hard to read, and I apologize. Let me try to get it full screen. And basically, this is indicating a lot of wind shear that shows up. I mean, the shear itself is getting just about, you can't read that number, but it's 34 knots. 40 again is the magic number. So it's right there at that point. There's a little bit of directional shear for a little bit of rotation. Although, again, I'm not overly concerned about tornadoes, but it depends on how these cells can become isolated or not. But either way, this tells me that there's certainly an atmosphere that's going to be prime that can produce warnings as we head into your Sunday night, especially. Then we get into Monday. Once we get into Sunday afternoon, it will be windy, by the way, on Sunday. But Monday, after the front moves in, Monday looks to be a windy day for the Ohio Valley. In fact, getting close to wind advisory level for the upper Ohio Valley. We haven't said that in a while. I don't see wind advisory for us, but it will be a noticeable wind on Monday. It'll be dry air flowing in. So actually it will feel good because humidity is going to be dropping. So Monday is going to give you that little bit of a fall vibe, I think Monday. Not overly chilly, just dry air, a blue sky that will form, windy outside. You're going to just have that sense of like, ooh, it's almost time to go get the pumpkins. And it's going to have that vibe. If you guys know that feeling, type 2 if you know that feeling I'm talking about. That feeling that you get on a windy day, that's the kind of day that Monday is looking like. All right. Then after that, we have to face what's going to happen as we head into next Wednesday or Thursday. I know we got JCPS going back on Wednesday. Right now, the trend is Thursday for this one, but there is a decent wind belt that is flowing into this area right in through here. And we need to watch that for some severe weather that could break out, and it could be a multi-day event. I just don't know which day yet. Wednesday or Thursday. I just don't know. Thursday's trending that way, is the main day now, but we'll need to watch it. And then after this, you don't really see it show up here, but we get into a very busy pattern for mid-August with several low pressures that are wanting to dive down, just like the one this weekend. We're getting into a pattern where this is going to be common, but we're going to add something else that we haven't seen too much of, and that is a tropical potential out of this. There are hints that some kind of tropical wave, could be a storm, I have no idea, that will try to get ingested into the southeast corner of the country. And if we see that and one of these lows move in at the same time, that could allow for some wild weather for the mid to later portions here of August. It's possible. When you get that kind of scenario too, you can get some really cool air that can come in behind these systems after they move by. And that's what I meant the other day, is cool shots of air that were showing up for mid-August. I think that's the reason why we're seeing it, is the tropics are trying to get involved, because the tropics are heat machines. And when they get thrown into the mix, they can cause a big yin-yang effect, and it can pull down briefly cooler weather behind them. So the rest of the month of August is looking pretty interesting, guys. It's not going to be boring. I'll say that. It's going to be active. So we'll take it one step at a time. We've got to get through Sunday. All right. So there you go. Everyone good? Cameron, are we worried about severe weather outbreak for next week? Not right now. We're not. No, I think it could be a multi-day event, but I wouldn't say an outbreak or anything. All right. Everyone looks good. All right. Look, guys, I'm sorry that I'm running, Jonathan, the dumbbell effect. It's my favorite weather term, the dumbbell effect. I appreciate you guys watching. I got to run because it's that time of day, and I have to go get some chicken because you guys know that's important. And I get ready for midday. I will see you guys then. Have a good, safe weekend. Hopefully, I do not see you guys on Sunday, because if you see me on Sunday, that's probably not a good sign, right? Have a good one. See you on midday.